Good morning, students. See, this is the part 3, okay, of the chapter life processes. Till last lecture, we have already discussed the structure of this stomata, okay, the structure of stomata. See, we will again revise the structure of stomata and we'll see the mechanism of opening and closing of stomata. Okay, so here these dots represent the nucleus of these subsidiary cells. Okay, these are the nucleus of the subsidiary cells. These two are the guard cells of the stomata. These two are the guard cells, and this points, you know that it is chlorophyll. Okay, these points are represent, these dots are represent chlorophyll. Okay, so these dots are represent chlorophyll. This is nucleus. This is subsidiary cell. These are the guard cells. Okay. See, this is the structure of this stomata. Now we'll see the opening and closing of stomata. What is the mechanism behind opening and closing of the stomata? See, at daytime, generally at daytime, the stomatas are opened, and at night time, the stomatas are closed. Okay. See, first at daytime, stomata are closed, and at night time they are open. Okay, stomatas are open at daytime. Stomatas are open at daytime. They are closed at night time. Okay. Generally, in general, the stomatas are open at daytime and closed at night time. But in the desert plants, the stomatas are closed at daytime and open at night time. Okay, just reverse of this process. This process is for the general plants. In general, okay, in general, at daytime the stomatas are open and at night time the stomatas are closed. But in desert plants, the stomatas are just reverse of it. At daytime, in desert plant, at daytime the stomatas are closed, and at night time the stomatas are open for desert plant. Okay, for desert plants. Now I will explain you the reason why the stomatas are closed at daytime for the desert plant. Okay. Now first we will see the mechanism behind the opening and closing of stomata. And one more important thing, for the aquatic plants, the stomatas are less developed. Okay, for the aquatic plants, the stomatas are less developed. Now see, we'll discuss the mechanism behind opening and closing of stomata. Clear? Now, at daytime, the water from the stomatas are released in form of the vapors. At daytime, the water from the stomata are released, okay, in form of the vapors. Now, when the water from the guard cells of stomata are released, water from the guard cell is released. Therefore, we can see, or we can think that if the water is released from the guard cell, that means what? The concentration of water in the guard cell is decreases. Since the concentration is decreases in the guard cell, okay, since the water concentration is decreased in the guard cell, that means the water from subsidiary cell will enter into the guard cell. Water from subsidiary cells will enter to the guard cells, okay, will move toward the guard cell. Now, when the water from the subsidiary cell is moved towards the guard cell, that means the pressure is applied on the guard cell, the water pressure is applied on the guard cell, and due to the water pressure the stomatas are opened. Due to the pressure the stomatas are opened at daytime. Just opposite of it at night time. What is the mechanism for the night time? So at night time this stomata is already closed. So at night time if the stomata is closed, then there is not release of water in the form of vapors. So if the water is not released in form of vapor, that means water concentration is more at guard cell. Water concentration is more at guard cell as compared to subsidiary cell. If the concentration of water is more at the guard cell, then the water will start to move towards the subsidiary cell. If at night time the water concentration is more at the guard cell, then the water will start to move from its higher concentration to lower concentration. We have already seen, you must have seen the process of osmosis in your 9th class. Any solution from its higher concentration to lower concentration, any solution will move from its higher concentration to lower concentration, then that concept is known as osmosis. Same concept. At night time, since the stomatas are closed, therefore the water in the guard cell is more in concentration. Therefore, if the water concentration is more in guard cell, it will move towards the subsidiary cell. That means if the water is moved towards the subsidiary cell, the pressure on the guard cell are decreased. So if the pressure on the guard cell is decreased, then the guard cell will be shrink. Therefore, the stomatas are closed at night time. Okay. See, this is the general case for the general plants. But what happened or what is the mechanism in the desert plant? See, desert plant, already in desert plant the concentration of water is very less. Okay, concentration of water is very less, and at daytime in the desert the temperature is very high and the light intensity is also very high. So if the stomatas are opened at daytime, then whatever the water is present in the stomata, all water will be released. Okay, and if the all water is released in the form of vapor, then plant will have a minimum level of water or no water in the plant if the all water is released. Therefore, the stomatas are closed at daytime in the desert plant to prevent the loss of water. Okay, to prevent the maximum loss of water at daytime in desert plant, the stomatas are closed. Okay, so this was the mechanism behind the opening and closing of stomata. Now we will see the activity which is given in our textbook, that is the activity 6.1. We will see one activity. How CO2 is essential for the plant. How CO2 is essential for the plant. Okay. So we will see one activity. By that activity we will confirm or will come on the conclusion that the CO2 is very essential for the plants. Okay. Now we will see in the activity 6.1 we will take two plants. We will take two plants. Okay, and these two plants are healthy one. Okay, well, initially in the first step we will take the two plants and both the plants are healthier. Now in first plant we will cover with the bell jar. Okay, we will cover it with the bell jar. Okay, and in the second case, this is the case first and this is the case 2. It is also covered with the bell jar, but what is different in case 2 than first? In case 2 will have a china dish. Okay, will have a china dish. In that dish will take anhydrous KOH. Anhydrous KOH. Okay, now the setup is ready. First plant is covered with the bell jar, second is also covered with the bell jar, but here we have taken one china dish which contain anhydrous KOH. Okay, now we'll left this plant or we'll keep this plant, these two plants for 2 or 3 days. Okay, in presence of sunlight. Okay, we'll left or we'll keep these two plants in the sunlight for 2 or 3 days. Okay, after 3 days or 2 days we'll come again and see the observation in case of first plant, that the first plant remains healthy. The first plant remains healthy. The first plant remains healthy. Okay. But what we'll observe in the second plant, the observation in case of second plant, that this plant is unhealthy. After 2 or 3 days, this plant will be unhealthy. Now, we'll think that what is the difference between the first plant and second plant? That first plant remains healthy after 2-3 days, but the second plant won't remain healthy after 2 or 3 days. That means it is unhealthy after 2 or 3 days. Then the conclusion is this plant can do the photosynthesis in presence of sunlight, and we know that for the process of photosynthesis carbon dioxide is very essential. This plant also can perform the process of photosynthesis, but whatever the carbon dioxide was present, the carbon dioxide, whatever the carbon dioxide was present, or whatever the carbon dioxide was present, it is already absorbed by the anhydrous KOH. First, what is the anhydrous? Anhydrous means anhydrous KOH. That means it is a KOH which does not contain any moisture. Okay, anhydrous means the powder which doesn't contain any moisture. Okay, so the full dry powder is known as anhydrous. An means no and hydrous means water. The compound in which there is no water or no moisture is present is known as anhydrous. So this anhydrous KOH will absorb all the carbon dioxides which was essential for the plant. Therefore, this plant, in the absence of carbon dioxide, cannot perform the process of photosynthesis, and due to the absence of the photosynthesis, this plant will be unhealthy. So the question can be asked in your examination, how will you prove that, or how the CO2 is essential for the photosynthesis or for the plants? Then you can explain these two activities in detail. Clear? Okay. Now here we have completed autotrophic mode of nutrition. Here we have completed autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now we will see the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. See, heterotrophic mode of nutrition means what? An organisms cannot prepare their own food, they depend on others for their food. Okay, if an organism cannot prepare their own food, they depend on another organism for their food, then that type of nutrition is known as heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero means dependence and trophic means the level of nutrition. When any organisms have a level of nutrition which depends on the another organisms, are known as heterotrophic nutrition. heterotrophic nutrition are divided into three parts. First is holozoic nutrition, parasitic nutrition, and next is saprophytic mode of nutrition. Okay, holozoic mode of nutrition, parasitic mode of nutrition, and saprophytic mode of nutrition. These all three are the part of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now see, holozoic mode of nutrition means what? In this, food is intake of food, then the food is digested, absorbed, then assimilation, and finally would be ejection or egestion. In the holozoic mode of nutrition, the food is first intake. Okay, there is an intake of food, digestion of food, absorption of the food, okay, and finally the egestion of food, excretion of food is known as holozoic mode of nutrition. And this type of nutrition is performed by the animals and humans. Animals and human beings performs holozoic mode of nutrition. That means in this mode of nutrition, the food is first intaken, okay, then it is digested, absorbed, assimilated, and then finally it is ejected. It is known as holozoic mode of nutrition. Now, animals and humans. Now there can be a question of how the humans is comes under the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. You can say my mummy is cooking food or my mom is cooking food in the kitchen. Okay, you will say to me, then my mom is cooking food in the kitchen, she is preparing their own food, then why the humans are under the heterotrophic mode of nutrition? Okay, men are cooking food for their own. Okay, they can cook the food, they can prepare their own food. Then why the humans comes under the heterotrophic mode of nutrition? So yes, your doubt is correct. Human can prepare their own food, but the food which he is cooking, he taken from the plants. Okay, the man is dependent, or man depends for the food on the plant. Man is directly depends on the plant for their food. Therefore, man is also comes under the holozoic nutrition, or we can say the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, now next is parasitic mode of nutrition. Parasitic mode of nutrition means what? It is the nutrition in which organisms take their nutrition from another living organisms. Any living organisms take their food or take their nutrition from another living organism is known as parasitic mode of nutrition. And the example for parasitic mode of nutrition is fleas, leech. Okay, fleas, leech. Okay, leech, you must have seen the leech. What is leech? Leech in Hindi we know that leech is joke. Okay, joke, which sucks the blood. Okay, which sucks the blood. So parasitic mode of nutrition is fleas, leech. These are the parasites which depended for their food on another living organisms, or they take their nutrition from the another mode of nutrition. Or one more option, lice. Lice means what? June. Okay, in our hair, some organisms we can see, some parasites we can see, small insects we can see, that is known as lice. Okay, they are dependent for their nutrition on another living organisms. It is parasitic mode of nutrition. And finally the saprophytic mode of nutrition. Then the saprophytic mode of nutrition, organisms depend on dead or decaying matters. mode of nutrition in which organisms depends on dead matters or decaying matter. Example, fungus, okay, mushroom, bread mold, okay, fungus, mushroom, bread molds. These are the comes under the saprophytic mode of nutrition. That means the mode of nutrition in which the organism depends on dead or decaying matters. Okay, so heterotrophic mode of nutrition is divided into holozoic, animals and human beings, parasitic, fleas, leech, lice, and saprophytic. Okay, the organism depends on the dead or decaying matter. Clear? See, here we have finished the type of nutrition, that is autotrophic and heterotrophic. Okay, now we'll see the next topic, that is human digestive system. Human digestive system. So I hope till now you are very clear about what we have learned. If you have any doubt, you can ask during the Google meeting. Okay, at the time of Google meeting you can ask. See, my suggestion is, whenever you are watching the video, take one rough notebook and pen with you. Okay, watch the video very carefully. Okay, if you are not understanding, repeat the video, pause the video, and again see it. And whatever the doubts you are having during watching the video, you can write your doubts, and that doubts you can ask at the time of Google meeting. Okay, so the next topic will be human digestive system. Your homework is, tell me, or in the time of Google meeting I will ask you, what are the parts of alimentary canal? What are the different parts of alimentary canal? You will going to say. Okay, thank you.